Hey guys, Cam here. Can FIFA 15 predict the future? Now, I've been playing football or soccer games most of my life. It all started for me with Football Italia 90. You know, the one where a sliding tackle made it look like you ran the guy over with a bus. But today, FIFA is arguably king of football or soccer games. For me anyway. I used to be a PES guy for the record, but EA's franchise has won me back. And in some ways, this game is almost as much of a simulation as a game. The sheer amount of data in the thing is incredible. Player skill, form, morale, referees, stadiums, managers, the list goes on. Almost every aspect of real football is recreated and plays a role in each game. So then, could we use FIFA 15 as a simulation and predict football results? And could it perhaps outperform bookmakers and maybe even professional pundits? Now, okay, you might be thinking, Cam, this has been done before, and you wouldn't be wrong, but you also wouldn't be right. You see, while other game sites have used previous FIFA titles to simulate the World Cup, for example, and make predictions, which is cool, no one has really analysed them and answered the key question of exactly how good is FIFA at making these predictions. So to do this, I decided to simulate the first 50 games of the 2014-2015 English Premier League season in FIFA 15.
He might be through. Got to be. That's a fantastic goal.
But how to do this? Well, there was no point in getting humans to play because obviously the skill level of each player would have way too much impact on the match results. So I took the people out of the equation and set the computer against itself for 50 games and recorded the results, making note of whether it was a win for Team A, a win for Team B, or a draw. Now that we have our data from those 50 matches, it's time to compare that with the results from the real-life games and work out whether or not FIFA is better or worse at predicting than random chance. Because there is only 3 possible outcomes for each game, random chance alone should be able to get it right around a third of the time, or 33.3%. Now, in our sample size of 50 games, that means the target for FIFA 15 to beat is 17 correct results. So, how did FIFA do? Well, out of the 50 matches played, it actually predicted 22 results, which is better than random chance's score of 17. But hold on there, let's not celebrate just yet. Sure, it wins this matchup, but does it win by enough? 22 is only 5 more than 17 after all, so we need to work out if this win is statistically significant. No, wait, don't go. I know I mentioned the S word, but please, let me explain, and it's really quite interesting. So, let's imagine we're going to roll a standard dice to predict the result of each game. Let's assign 1 and 2 to a Team A victory, 3 and 4 to a Team B victory, and 5 and 6 to a draw. If we then rolled for all 50 games, we wouldn't necessarily get exactly 17 correct. We'd probably score something close to that. But hell, it's technically possible, although incredibly unlikely, to get every result correct just by rolling a dice and getting lucky. So what we need to do then is calculate how likely it is that our 22 results from FIFA were actually down to just luck. Okay, time to grab a calculator and see if this guy can remember any of his university stats course he did over 10 years ago. Half the battle when working these things out is deciding which test to actually do. Now, I opted for one called a binomial probability test. Because our FIFA results are either correct or incorrect, our results are actually binary. You could just as easily express them as a 1 or a 0. Now, to work this out, I used a great website called StatTrek, which is just wow. Set phasers to fun! All I had to do is plug in the numbers. Our probability of success by guessing is 33%, or 0.33. Our number of trials is 50, and our successes is 22. This gives us a probability of 0.03, which is significant. Another way of saying this actually is that there's a 3% chance that FIFA's correct results are just down to luck. And that's pretty small, so well done FIFA. Now you can celebrate. Now, I'm not a gambling man, but I did gather together Bookies predictions for the first 50 games of the season using a site called Odds Portal. It's an odds aggregator of sorts and works out the average odds from a number of bookies, in this case around 14. So, how did the bookies fare? Well, not great actually. They only scored 19, which statistically is no better than random chance. So that means FIFA 15 is actually a better predictor of results than the average of bookmakers. However, there are a few caveats here. In the 50 games I tested, not once did the average bookmaker score predict a draw. What you've got to remember is that while bookies are giving a rough prediction with their odds, they are also trying to encourage people to bet money. So there is a financial incentive to the odds they put forward. It's not just a straight up prediction. But still, another victory for FIFA 15. Okay, finally, what about professional pundits? People whose job it is to know football and predict results accurately. Well, perhaps the best known pundit in the UK is the BBC's Mark Lawrenson. So, can FIFA 15 best Loro's predictions? Well, based on the same 50 games, Loro comes in with an impressive score of 27 correct predictions. That's 54% against FIFA's 44%. Sorry FIFA, you've clearly been outdone by the old pro. Let me know what you think of this and anything at all about this episode in the comments down below, or by getting in touch with me on Twitter at CamFrazRob. Also, next week, I'm thinking about putting my money where FIFA's mouth is and seeing if I would have actually made cash bucks at the bookies if I'd let FIFA dictate my betting choices over those 50 games. Let me know if you want to see that in next week's reality check. Oh, and a little disclaimer. Now, I think I did the stats part right, but I'm not a statistician. I can barely say the word. But if you are, and you have any pro tips or corrections, please do let me know in the comments. All right, thanks for watching, guys. See you next week.